You are now tuned into Native Collect.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of the Legacy Blueprint Podcast. I am your host, Kayla Wanakee, and listen, y'all. Today, we have music producer extraordinaire and pioneer of trap music in the building. We got your favorite producer's favorite producer, Drumma Boy.
Yeah, boy, what's happening?
Hey, what's up? You know, I was waiting for that. I thought you was going to do this.
Yeah,
I was waiting for that.
No, I threw that in there. You know, I had to throw that in there, too. What's good, man? Blessings.
What's good, Drumma Boy? We are so excited to have you here.
Absolutely.
Especially because it's all called Legacy Blueprint. And I feel like you have created not only a blueprint for music producers and business people in the music business, but also creating a legacy, not only for you, but also for those coming behind you. So
absolutely. Feel
really
good to
excited.
be here.
Yeah,
for sure,
man.
for sure.
I'm excited to
nice
get
and
into it. Look.
For sure.
All right. So we are powered by Native Collective. So
Okay.
one question that we ask everybody, we feel like your native grounds contribute to who you are today. So can you tell us a little bit about where you're from and how that has helped to build up Drumma Boy?
Absolutely, man. I'm born out of the city, Memphis. We home of the blues, you know what I'm saying? A lot of different genres of music, from the orchestra to country to bluegrass to jazz to the church music we heavy on. Stacks, known for 3-6 Mafia, Ball and G, the whole hip-hop scene. Now, CMG, Paper Route, you know what I'm saying, Bread Gang, Loaf Boys. The city going crazy, man. I was bred just, I say like a pot of gumbo. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just we a city that make the best out of what we got and turn nothing into something.
I love that. And your music, I mean, it speaks for itself because it's so much that's ingrained in the music that you create. So how did you get into the music business? Were you always into music growing up or what?
Yeah, like from the church to, my mama dealing with her business, I learned a lot from her, seeing my dad deal with his business, and he was in the Memphis Symphony Orchestra, taught at the University of Memphis. And, I had an older brother, R.I.P., Insane Wayne, who showed me the streets, showed me the music, showed me how to make beats, took me to my first studio, so on and so forth. So, when you combine all of that and then sprinkle in, the 3 years that I did go to school, University of Memphis, majoring in music business, a lot of game from a lady by the name of Wendy Day. Rap Coalition, she been giving us the cheat code. You put all of that into one pot, man, and again, man, it's that gumbo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Of knowledge, of game, so to speak, on how to move, and just learning from others as well.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned, I think you said your mom was in the church, right? And then your dad was a part of the orchestra.
Correct.
And then here you are, trap music pioneer out here. How did they feel about your approach to music?
My mama supported, she just wanted me to be out the street. So, she got me my first keyboard, and that kind of kept me in the house making beats more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think in that sense, it was a plus for her as far as the music. We didn't know what we was making. We was just, these the people I'm around. I'm in the streets. I'm you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm bumping the Yo Gotti. I'm bumping the, Nick, Scarfolk, Prophet Posse, some of the OGs, R.I.P. Nick, we was working out of his studio, Fat to Death. And that's where a lot of my opportunities to be on a Yo Gotti album, to I get that call from my brother, Insane Wayne. I got the opportunity to be on the Tila album. And this is, young, 18, 19. So just getting those opportunities, I think put me in position and allowed me to, make a name for myself. And the more I made a name for myself and the more I made money, Mom started to see, okay, this could be lucrative, and especially when I started paying her back.
That
some
part,
of that money,
that part.
But Pops, I didn't tell my dad who I was, Drumma Boy, until like he found out. Really, I had to tell him when I was about 19. 20. I had just got kicked out of college, and he cool with the dean of the university. So I had a 6-month suspension due to unattendance. You know what I'm saying? I'm back and
Okay.
forth to Atlanta.
Yeah.
I'm working with Jeezy and working with Jody Breeze and Boys in the Hood. I'm creating a name for myself. So I wanted to have a name for myself when I told my pop what was up, because the orchestra and everybody already kind of looked down upon rap music
Absolutely.
and hip hop and whatnot. So he found out I got kicked out of college. You know what I'm saying? And man, where you at? Pull up on me. We gonna have a conversation. I pull up on him.
Yeah.
Man, we going back and forth. He breaking me down. You know what I'm saying? I'm basically crying. He tell me I ain't gonna be shit. You ain't gonna do nothing. I'm like, I'm already successful. I'm
Yeah.
already Drumma Boy. Like,
Yeah.
man, I pull out $10,000. Man, I'm getting money, Pop. Like, da da da. He was like, you ain't making no money. You can't buy your mama the car she wanted, the house she want. You ain't got no bank account. You ain't got no credit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he was like, man, but you tough, so show me 100,000 in your bank account, 12 months. If not, we gonna fight and you going back to school.
Did you do it?
10 months later, I showed him that bank account. And we've been best friends since. So, I had to earn.
Absolutely.
That was like my biggest hater, my dad. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But I had to earn it. It's like once I got him straight, it's like ain't nothing nobody else can say to me.
Straight up. But it seemed like he was your biggest motivation.
Oh, yeah,
Because
for
after
sure.
that conversation, you like, hey, I'm about to put
Yeah.
head to the
now
ground.
he called
What
me,
we
I'm
doing?
riding around, I'm getting it. I'm riding around, I'm getting it.
But look, you went to school for music. So
Absolutely.
essentially you were going to school for that anyway. And so you started gaining experience while in school. So you achieved the ultimate of what you were trying to do anyway while you were still in school. So
Right.
what motivated you to besides getting kicked out, clearly it's like, well, I ain't got a choice but to keep doing this. But when you had to make that decision, like it seems like you grew up in a house where education was important. When you had to make those decisions, what was going through your head?
Get the money. You know what I'm
Regardless
saying?
of the class.
Nothing gonna stop me from, because I had to pay my car note, my insurance. I got bills to pay.
Yeah.
So, school wasn't paying no bills for me. It was giving me opportunities. I'm meeting other people on the campus. I'm promoting my music on the campus and whatnot. So it gave me some incredible relationships, but I had to turn it into monetization. I had to turn it into actual cash
Absolutely.
flow. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of that was being on the road, and when guys wanted to work, I had to be on their time. You know?
Yeah. So one thing, you're a fairly young guy, right? The songs that Drumma Boy is the producer of, y'all listen. Any song you listen to in the club all throughout the 2000s up till now, baby, Drumma Boy is on that thing. Like, listen, I knew that you were a bomb producer, right? Like, I knew about and I went moving, got me in the church, and so I'm like, that's already enough. But when I started going through your full discography, I guess you want to call it, and your portfolio, I'm like, bruh, there's not a song that we love from that's trap music that you not on. So you did that at such a young age. You achieved so much success being so young. How did you manage that? Like, I need to know, one, how did you manage the celebrity? Did you fumble it? I want to know how you managed your money, how you got your people in order. Like, tell me, how did you manage all of that success so young?
Man, I think honestly just, having people around me, like, my lawyer, my entertainment attorney, my management, always pointing me in the right direction just on opportunities, on investments, on real estate opportunities. And that, I think, the grounded business side of things, always keeps you, your feet on the ground. We always say 10 toes down, you know what I mean? And that's just remaining humble. You can get arrogant. You can, want to go out and party and kick it and buy a table or whatnot. For me, I was getting booked. So if I wasn't getting booked, I'm not going out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys would be, man, come on to the club with me, man. Da, da, da. I'd be in the studio. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I made some of the biggest records of my life, just taking my time to perfect the beat. Dr. Dre gave us the blueprint. Jay-Z gave us the blueprint. Nas gave us the blueprint. So I'm following all of the guys who's successful. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, even when you're going to have ups and downs, you might get behind on certain things, one particularly taxes,
Yeah.
you know, but learning the system and understanding how you can make deductions and be exempt for certain things, and, you know, learning how to write certain things off is just having the best accountants around you and double checking their accountant, making sure he doing what he's supposed to do.
Right.
Making sure the lawyer doing what he's supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Management doing what they supposed to do as they make sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. So it's a full machine of well-oiled and experienced people that keep that machine running.
Okay, so let's get into some of the business of it all. So you talked a lot about your team, right? How did you acquire your team? How did you know who to ask and who to put on your team?
It was just kind of like organically, you know, formed, so to speak. I remember going to my brother was cool with Jazzy Faye, you know what I mean, and they would always be at Noontime Studio. So Noontime was like a place where like all the labels would go and get. It's a one-stop shop because they had writers, songwriters, producers. So you think about Jazzy Faye in the studio. Jonte Austin had a room. Donnie Scance had a room. Polo the Don, Jim Crow. They was some of the artists that was signed to Noontime.
Yeah.
Ashanti was signed to Noontime. J-Dub, one of the hitmen, he was on Noontime. And like it was so many. Chris Hicks, Ryan Glover, you know, Henry Lee Nooney. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you talking about a conglomerate production squad that's getting it done. They producing for everybody. So I was able to come into that. And one person I always noticed would be in the first studio to the left. Like when you walk in, it's a studio room to the left. He will always be in the same chair right behind the board, just organizing things or, you know, just always there. Every time I was there, that same spot. I was like, man, who is dude? Like, he seemed like he about the business. He seemed like he pay attention. He's very, you know, alert.
Yeah.
With you know, just the business side of things. Squeak. You know what I'm saying? So he was trying to manage me. Polo the Don was trying to manage me. But Polo was getting into producing. So he was a rapper also, but he was getting into producing. And I was like, damn, how much time will he have for me compared to how much time Squeak will have for me as a manager?
Yeah.
And I went with Squeak, you know what I'm saying? I was like, bro, let's bam. So I met my lawyer through this guy named Victor Cade. Victor was out in Florida doing some stuff with some other artists, and I knew he had the business already rotating. So I asked him, man, I need an entertainment lawyer. I got some big placements coming up. I need to make sure my paperwork right.
Right.
And that knowledge comes from Wendy Day. And she used to do workshops at University of Memphis,
Okay.
just giving knowledge and giving game on PROs, the importance of PROs, performing rights organization, BMI ASCAP, the importance of split sheets, the importance of entertainment attorneys, management, and so on and so forth. So I, at this time, knew I needed an entertainment attorney because I had so many placements.
Yeah.
And Donald Woodard was my first, you know what I'm saying, black, you know what I'm saying, entertainment attorney. And he believed in what I had going on. And, you know, obviously I wasn't in a position to pay legal fees out the gate, but having that belief, having that hunger, having that desire, that passion that, you know, people could really feel and see, I think was important with helping me establish my team as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you just coming into the game, being around all of these like greats and watching how they were moving and shaking and building teams, like that helps to contribute to you even seeking. Because it's like, I think when people think of just the music industry overall, they only think of like the talent portion. They don't necessarily think of like how many like logistics come with it. And I know oftentimes the music industry at this point has a bad rap because so many people feel like it's an industry where they get over on you and you don't get a lot of rights to your music. In the very beginning, I know you said Wendy really poured into you guys, just the importance of having a team and knowing like where your placements are going and making sure that you have things like, I don't know if it's certified, I don't know what the word is for that.
Certifications.
Yeah, Yeah. So have you ever gotten into a situation where you didn't have that stuff in order? Did you have to bump your head in order to do it, or you just always knew to put it in order?
Nah, I knew my value. I knew, you wasn't getting the splits or the trackouts from me if you ain't pay me.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? So it was a respect level first and foremost that you had with me. That was the first thing I feel like I earned before I was making money or this or that. You had a respect for who I was as a person.
Yeah.
Period. And if you're not gonna pay nobody you don't respect.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So once you respect somebody, okay, bam, all right, I do business with brother. Yeah, man, he stand on his word. He deliver. He do what he say he gonna do. Like all of those things are essential.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was places where it might not be safe. I'm trapping. I'm over here in South Memphis, so I'm in the projects. I'm in Claiborne Homes. I'm in Walker. You know what I'm saying? Homes. Like I'm making beats in places I shouldn't be.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm making beats in the trap with my big brother, but I was lucky enough to have a big brother to keep me to the side. Like, hey, bro, you keep doing the music. You stay over there making beats, but I'm seeing what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm seeing $1 million on the floor.
Yeah.
Like, damn, it's just inspiration. Like, bam. So I was making the music that help a lot of the dope boys tell their story.
Right.
And just rappers in general.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Music, musician, R&B artists, whatever. The music tell you what to say. You know what I mean? And we putting pain and struggle and poverty and, all of the negativity, all the things that you would think kill somebody, we putting that all into the music.
Right. But those are like real lived experiences, and especially the people that you're working with in Memphis and Atlanta.
Yeah.
These people really be about that life.
Oh, yeah.
So even though, you were doing the music, did you ever find yourself in like the streets?
I was always in the streets, you know what I'm saying? And, man, it was times where I was flipping this and flipping that, and you know what I mean? And just, I'm a hustler, so I'm a get by however I need to get by to provide for my dream. Yeah, okay, I need to do this music. I bet. You know what I'm saying? My mom stopped buying clothes for me at like 14, 15. She got diagnosed with diabetes, so, bam, she stopped cooking certain food I would eat. She stopped, providing everything. So, really, like, that's where the beats come from, and I started selling bass tapes.
Yeah.
So like, bam, let me sell something. I'm product in hand. I was working at Just for Feet, selling Jordans, selling shoes. That was my first job. You know what I mean? I always told myself, man, I'm gonna go from this to having my own store.
Yeah.
Now we got House of Fresh.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just about that grind and just wanting it. Yeah, we gonna have to do some illegal things. Everybody do. Anybody who say they ain't never done nothing illegal is lying to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Straight
you're going
up.
to have to do what you have to do. Now, how you go about it, that's on you. You got to get slick. You got to get smart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And be able to do what you're going to do and then get on up out of there.
Yeah.
The problem is we get greedy. You know what I'm saying? We get away with this or get away with that, da-da-da-da. And they're like, man, I can keep doing it. I can keep doing it. And then you think that you never going to get caught.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the trap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So music was, for me, an example of how I made it out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you can do it too as a producer. So I motivated and inspired millions and millions and millions of people making beats.
Straight up.
Mamas going getting equipment for their kids or whoever, or uncle or daddy or brother, or you getting it on your own.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm finna man, drum on to something.
Yep.
Bam, we finna get like him. Like I feel like I'm Michael Jordan of the beats for real.
No, straight up though. Like straight up, you
Yeah.
really are like a pioneer.
And a brand.
And a whole brand. So talk about that. Like beyond just music producing, what is the full brand of Drumma Boy today? When you look at yourself, because you're a businessman, you have a lot of different ventures. Like, tell us the full scope of Drumma Boy today.
I think it's the therapeutic energy, honestly, that's the most essential. Whether I give it to you through a book form, we just wrote Behind the Hits.
Yeah.
Whether I give it to you through a movie, whether I give it to you in a conversation when people meet me and really dive into what I got going on or what you got going on, and you trying to, get some knowledge from me or some advice from me or some, direction. I'm able to digest people's lives and then direct.
Yeah.
Motivate, inspire, enhance, encourage, uplift, all positivity, and making the people around me a better version,
Yeah.
the best version. that they can be. You know what I mean? And that's what I do well. I'm very therapeutic. So just delivering positive energy and blessing as many people as possible, that's my purpose.
Yeah.
And understanding it I've had that understanding since 13, 14. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's something that I do well and I enjoy. You know what I mean? So
for sure. And it makes a lot of sense because, like, to know you is to love you. Like, for real. Like, you're so, like, you're a genuine person. And for you to have had so much success throughout your entire career and to be so down to earth, so humble, so relatable. Like, I had no idea. Like, and I know you outside of this podcast, but I had no idea. I knew you were a producer, but I didn't know it was to the level in which you are. And I'm like, but he's so cool. Like, he's so regular and he just, you know, you so chill and all of that. Do you think a lot of that has helped your success throughout the years?
Absolutely. Like just ongoing relationships. It's not a bridge that I haven't crossed or burned. You know what I mean? I can go back. My spider web is very well connected.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of places I can go and I can be that I have access to, whether it's in the streets, whether it's in the trap. I can go anywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And create peace. You know, people talk about it all the time. Like, when I'm in Memphis, it ain't nothing negative going on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's like as much as I wish I could spend more time in Memphis, you know what I mean, and help them provide more opportunities in Memphis. It's like, man, I gotta go. You know what I'm saying? I'm booked. I'm over here. I'm over in L.A. We got, you know what I'm saying, Dubai. You know what I'm saying, Jamaica. Like, man, you know, you got to travel the world. So we putting together different plans, you know, and working with the new mayor. You know what I'm saying, Mr. Young, and man, just so many different counterparts of helping Memphis and pipeline and continuing to pipeline Memphis.
Absolutely. Now, a lot of who you are is reaching back and pulling forward the next generation. I know that you just recently wrote a book, the Behind the Hits book. Can you tell us a little bit behind why you decided to write a book and what we can find in it?
Honestly, man, I feel like I'm a soundtrack to a lot of people's lives. Like, once they figure out the songs that I've done, you remember a moment. One of the songs that I've done, you have moments too. Or you remember dancing or turning up with your friends or something like that too.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And it was like, man, you know, just helping people put a face with a name and understanding, you know, what was going on behind the hits, behind some of your favorite songs. Damn, the equipment he was using, how he made this beat. Damn, this is my favorite song. I never knew y'all produced that in L.A. Damn, I didn't even think that was a L.A. beat. Like, it's a photo shoot, girl. It's a photo shoot. If you listen to the beat, that's a L.A. beat. I tried to skip past that beat on Gucci. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to play him some trap, some down south, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, no, go back drum, go back drum. That's the first song we did.
Yeah.
So, you know, it throws you off to really think about certain things that you probably would have never thought about. Like, damn, Lose My Mind, Jeezy Plies. That's a L.A. beat.
Yeah.
I made that for a West Coast artist.
Yeah,
but, you know what I'm saying?
and yeah.
Don't. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, man, those are beats that I skipped. And Jeezy was like, go back. You know what I'm saying? So you never know what's going to end up for a certain person. You know what I'm saying? Standing ovation. I sold the original beat. You know what I'm saying? So when I had Jeezy called me like, man, you still got that beat? And I'm like, man, I've been sold that, John. What? Man, I give him 50,000. Man, I give you 100,000. I give you 10 times what you charge me for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I can't do that, Jeezy. It's like the work. It's like a pound of weed, bro. It's just dust.
Yeah.
It's gone. It's disappeared. In there. I make another one. Give me them acapellas, man. Pull up the patchwork. Took it home, made a beat, took it back to him. It ain't like the first one, man. It ain't like the first. Go home again, come back. It's almost there. I'm like, man, I ain't finna take this ride again.
Yeah.
And not really research. That was the day I learned how to really study an artist. And I listened to the whole Streets Is Watching, listened to the whole Trap or Die mixtape. And I was like, damn, one thing I noticed with Jeezy, loved some horns. He loved them horns, them trumpets, and them, you know what I'm saying? So that's the first sound that I put in Standing Ovation when I was making the third beat.
Yeah.
And as long as them A's sounded good, bam, took the beat back to him. The rest was history.
I love it. So what was your biggest record?
Oh, No Hands, man. That Diamond, you don't get no bigger than Diamond. You know what I'm saying? Especially as a single, and I made the beat 100% me, no samples, no MIDI loops, no collab or none of that.
Yeah.
Like, this me, 50%. You know what I'm
What
saying?
year did No Hands come out?
2010.
Okay, so real quick. 2010 is when No Hands came out. Everybody all over the world, it was like our anthem at that time, right? But it's 2023 and it's viral on TikTok. Drumma, knowing that you created something in 2010 and now our kids are like, where that No Hands at? Where that No Hands at? How did that make you feel?
Man, it's a blessing. You know,
Yeah.
it make you feel good. It's like doing the moonwalk and everybody's still doing the moonwalk. It's like, you know what I'm saying, Michael Jackson made that popular, like Drumma Boy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Made that go. Like Walker didn't, he was like, man, John, you can do whatever you want to do with the record.
Yeah.
You know, Gucci had just got out of jail. You know what I'm saying? This was a celebration. We had no clue we was finna do this.
Yeah.
But it was like that one moment when it wasn't about no money. Wasn't nobody talking about, man, I gotta get paid, holler at my manager, this, that, da-da-da-da-da. It was just a moment of celebration.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm in the A room at Patchwork doing first day out with Gucci, and everything I do abnormal, normal. Anything I do abnormal. So bam, Gucci started doing the hook, and then he started doing the verse. I'm like, all right, bet I know I got 30 minutes before I got to come back in here. So I go in the B room where all my equipment laid out. It's probably 50 people in there in the B room. B room small. If you ever been in Patchwork, little small, tight room, perfect, compact. So, you know, it's tight. I can't even really play the keys like that. That's why the chords and the notes so simple on No Hands.
Okay.
Dun,
Okay.
dun, dun, dun. And just that one sound, you gotta bounce.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then I put the drums in. I made that beat literally 5 minutes.
Shut
Swear to God.
up.
Swear
Are
to
you
God.
serious?
Swear to God, it was a room full of people, so everybody was just, you know, you got to move quick when there's people watching you. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
can't really, you'll lose them. People go to sleep, in and out the room, this and
Yeah.
that. And I really didn't know who was gonna be the artist. Walker was in there, Lloyd Banks was in there, Wale and them popped up, Roscoe Dash. I mean, it was plethora of people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But Roscoe Dash was in the back paying attention. He was like one of the only people who was just zoned in, like. I'm like, man, what you got, Roscoe? Go on in the booth. Go on in the booth. He like, man, this ain't my. I'm like, man, go. You know what I'm saying? Bro, first words come out his mouth. Girl, drop it to the floor. I love the way your booty go. When I tell you everybody in there who were hating or didn't know what was going on, and they girls started turning down and they were like, oh, I guess we got to turn up too. Man, that jump was lit. Like, you know what I'm saying? And Walker was like, bro, you can do whatever you want to do with the record. I was like, all right, now, if it blow up, this y'all session. Gucci paid for this. This your session.
Yeah.
Bro, Roscoe, Wale, all the labels were trying to buy that song.
I already know. But the remix had, wasn't Wale on the remix?
Wale was on the original.
He was on the original.
I don't even think we got
okay.
a real remix. It was a few
Right.
remixes, but it ain't nothing like that original No Hands.
Yes. And that's another thing that I've noticed with your
The remix
music.
was with, I'm sorry to cut you off, but the remix was with, what's the Asian dude? Aoki. Steve Aoki.
Wow.
Yeah, so the
really?
remix was big. I'm not gonna say that.
Yes.
'Cause I had to remember. I apologize. Yes,
Yeah.
Steve Aoki went crazy.
Yeah, and he's huge.
Absolutely.
And that's another thing with your music. Well, okay, guys, I'm about to go all the way in there, and I know it's time for us to take a break for our sponsors. So what we're going to do is we're going to stay right there. We're going to take a break for our sponsors, and we'll see you right back here on the Legacy Blueprint Podcast.
Hey, I'm Win Chardon, and I'm excited to be a part of Native Collective Digital Membership Waitlist, where I'm tapping into a range of resources and connecting with professionals. This platform is proven beneficial in helping me stay organized and maintain a proactive approach as I continue to make a leading impact in the community. The diverse tools and support provided by Native Collective has enhanced my efforts and effectiveness, so make sure you check them out.
Hey there, it's your girl E. If you're anything like me, you're probably tired of searching for one place that truly identifies the cultural diversity in the melting pot that is Los Angeles. Well, I've got some really good news for you. I'd like to introduce you to Native Collective, the hottest, most exclusive private membership club that's about to change the game.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy AP here, man. Alex Porter, and singer, songwriter, actor, model, you name it. God bless me to do it. So, and in the midst of using my gifts, I am now collabing with and partnering up with Native. That is right. I just signed up for Native's digital membership waiting list, and what Native is, or what they do, is they put you around others that is like-minded in your industry or in your lane. So other singers, other actors, other directors, other whatever it is that you do, Native can deliver, man. So I just signed up and got on their waiting list, man. This drop is about to be phenomenal. I'm telling you, big things is happening in 2024. Native is the place to be. You need to get there ASAP. Go visit native.com, and I promise you, Native is the place to be. Come connect with AP, and we'll see you at the end of 2023. All right, let's get it, man. Big things happening. Once again, native.com. Go sign up now. Get on the waiting list. And look, see, I just left SoFi Stadium because I just came from a celebrity basketball game playing right now, because that's what Native do. They put you around the people that is like-minded in your industry and what you do. So I don't brag or push things that I'm not a part of. So go sign up now. Get it cracking. Let's make it happen. All right, let's get it. Go Native.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to the Legacy Blueprint Podcast. We got our boy, Drumma Boy, in the house.
Hey.
Music producer extraordinaire, and we learning so much just about the business, about the man, and how you really can sustain yourself to build a legacy in the music business. So one thing that I've noticed with your music, Drumma Boy, is that it's timeless. Like the songs that you made back in the early 2000s is the same songs that we can turn on today and turn the entire club up. I don't know a whole lot about music as far as like instruments and things like that, but what has been your blueprint to create such timeless music?
Honestly, man, just making music from the heart, making music from the spirit, and working with artists that do that same thing. It comes from inside.
Yeah.
You know, it ain't on you, it's in you. You know what I'm saying? So if you're able to tap into that, as well as take a little guidance, take a little direction. A lot of the new artists that I work with, I give them the opportunity to pick what beat they like. They do what they want to do to it. And then the next song, I give them a challenge, like, all right, let's do something like this. You know, and usually a lot of artists aren't really making music for the women. They making music for the streets.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I kind of redirect that energy and like, all right, now we got a room full of women, room full of ladies, man. They finna,
Yeah.
they gonna go crazy if you come on, just give them some, man. Just give them. You know what I'm saying? And I motivate people, man. I got Rick Ross to do Here I Am. I got a lot of dollars I can spend on her. Yeah, I am. Like, you know what I'm saying? Come on, they go from the white tees to the tuxedo, my dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know, live musician and live band. That was one of my first Drumma Boy live. Okay. And I just wanted to flex and show people like, man, I ain't just no trap producer. Like, I come from the music, but, you know, honestly, it was like the opposite. Like, in Memphis, you got to dumb yourself down sometimes and really just give them the simple form of you. And then once you master that and they get on, then you can expand and grow into, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Other things like that. Because just coming out too complex or like, you know what I'm saying? You kind of like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, it was like me starting off in trap. All right, these the guys I got to work with. Bet, let me put hits on the board.
Right.
Let me put hits on the board. You know what I'm saying? You could be saying you do bluegrass. All right, let me put hits on the board. You do country. All right, let's put hits on the board. We did Wi-Fi for Dexter Daps just recently. A lot of people not familiar, like the crossover that I've done, being able to go into reggae, being able to go into Afrobeat, you know, connecting the dots with Dexter Daps and Davido or Davido. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's Africa and Jamaica on some, man, come on, bro. I produced Scripture on Vent album for that to be my first #1 reggae album. You know what I'm saying? The Vent, go get that. If you ain't heard it, Vent, Dexter Daps. I did 3 on there. I'm on my way, Scripture, and Wi-Fi.
Wow. Wow. So like just always having your ear to the streets, because if you're able to cross over in so many different elements, you know, and being able to create hits in so many different genres, like that truly does take a special ear, a special sound in order to do that and to cross over in so many ways. So one thing that I read is that 90% of people that want to be music artists fail. So what do you think has been the key to success for artists in the music game?
Consistency, connection to audience, being relatable, and having fun.
Yeah.
I think a combo of those things is definitely a majority of it, as well as having good business sense and good business tactics, because that's what allows you to make money on the back end, to keep furthering your career, to stay up to date with technology, to be able to hire a cameraman or be able to travel to certain events that are all across the United States that could be very lucrative and beneficial for you. But some people just don't have that money to buy the plane ticket, buy the room, get a rental car or whatever, and attend the event. You know what I mean? But had you not sold that beat exclusively and you still making your 50% on the back end, that song went platinum. So you would have made an extra 100, maybe 150,000 just on the back end, and you might have had a publishing deal or administrative deal on the table.
Yeah.
So now that funding allows you to go buy a house or make investments or, so on and so forth. So it's essential that you value yourself and get everything that you're worth each time that you get a placement. So it's not backtracking. It might take you 10 beats to make $10,000 when you could have made that on the first go around.
That part right there. So for the young producer that's at home right now, super talented, just not knowing which direction to go, because listening to your story, like, you had connections, you had relationships, and you kind of like navigated your way through. For that person that's at home right now, that's listening to this podcast, what would be your advice to them? Extremely talented, just not knowing how to navigate the business.
Man, master the fundamentals. Appreciate the music. If you're gonna be in the music business, how do you not have music appreciation? You know what I mean? If you're gonna be a basketball player, how do you not know how to dribble? All you want to do is just shoot, 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 shoot. You can't even take a step without having a dribble, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then you gotta defend the rock. This is a prized possession. When you get that ball in your hand, you got to do something with it.
Yeah.
Even if it's an assist, or it's going to be a shot and you score, or it's going to be, a pass. You know what I mean? But you got to figure out, how to move and to become that triple threat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Understand the business. So many people sending emails, they don't even copyright the music. That's the cheapest first step thing you can do. It costs $30, $40. You know what I'm saying? That's the cheapest thing you can do, and people ain't doing it to protect and to have ownership. To get that sheet of paper in the mail to say the name of the song, this copywritten, so this me. You know what I'm saying? If this song gets copied or somebody put it out or a DJ might put it out on SoundCloud or DistroKid, and this your song, and it's on one of their mixtapes. Nah, I got the copyrights to this, my boy. You got to cease and desist that.
Yeah.
You ain't got the permission to use my song or, whatever. Like, so you gotta kind of defend your possessions.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And, understand the business. Get your paperwork in line. Get your entertainment attorney. It's the same thing we've been saying.
Yeah, straight up, because it's beyond just talent. Like, the business is super essential in order to build that legacy, in order to build the sustainability in the industry. It's super important to know the business.
Absolutely.
So one thing that I know from this interview, as well as just knowing you, is you are just a very grounded person, and you have a certain like aura of peace just kind of around you. Mental health is super important to Native Collective, and I want to know, how do you manage to keep your mental health in check throughout this industry?
Serving the Lord. It's so simple. Having a connection with God. You know what I mean? We don't know. It's so many myths and rumors and this and that, but we know it's a creator, the Almighty Creator. We don't know if the name is God. For all this time we could have been saying, we are saying the wrong name.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For sure. That's that. You know what I'm saying? But it's just about that connection and knowing that, man, I'm a king.
Yeah.
And when you really understand the definition of a king and seeing that everything that you touch and that you're surrounded by, you have a positive influence on. that's my piece.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel great, and you know, people know I ain't with the shit. I'm here to help. You know, I've done it. I give so much game just for free.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was like, man, let me really, on an overall standpoint, just tell my story and help people understand that they can do the same.
Yeah.
Because we all have gifts. We have to put polish on those gifts. We have to put dedication and sacrifice for those gifts to really, you know, own in on what it can be.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And the positivities of the possibilities of where you can take that gift.
Absolutely.
And monetize off that gift. But it has to start from the passion. It has to start from the desire, the love, and putting the business structure behind it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But mentally, overall, you know, working out in the gym, swimming, riding bikes, playing basketball, all of those things helps, you know, me mentally get away from music. Sometimes it's video games. Sometimes it's reading books or just learning. Like I'm a internet reader. Mm-hmm. So I'm on my computer. I read way more on the web than I do actual books.
Yeah.
But finding out the information, playing around with the artificial intelligence, and it's just so many programs that can do so many things. That's like the new video game for me. So it's fun to keep up with technology. Don't get left by technology.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's important.
But also take a break and take your shoes off and put your feet on the earth. Connect to the earth. You know what I mean? I saw a guy had a little meter where he was like, man, with your shoes on, it's like we got 2 or 3, you know, it was something. I forget what it read, but it was like it showed 2 or 3 when he had his shoes on.
Yeah.
When he put his feet on the earth, it was like 90 or 80.
Yeah, because there's so many layers and barriers between us and the earth.
So it gives you energy. It gives you
does.
richness. It gives
Yeah.
you, you know, vibrations that, you know, is unspoken. So, you know, you got to tap into the world and the nature.
Absolutely.
As well.
Now, one thing is, I know you're from Memphis, and even throughout you know, paying homage to how many people you've worked with throughout the industry, it was a lot of RIPs. And I know just as in our community, as Black people, just overall, like, we see and experience a lot of death, and we see a lot of lives end earlier than, you know, we may think it should. How have you been able to navigate grief?
Through music. Music saved my life on everything, all aspects, just being able to cope. Also through children. You know, with his kids, you know, specifically losing my brother, you know, it was the first thing I could think about was his kids. You know what I'm saying? Jordan, Selena, Raven, Devin, the grandkids. It's 4 grandbabies, you know what I'm saying? So we got to put his estate together. Just the business side of things helped me grieve. Like, I feel good. Like, man, I'm getting this stuff together. I'm doing what I know my brother would want me to do. You know what I'm saying? I put out an album, My Brother's Keeper, a rap solo project for him. You know what I mean? And just keeping his name alive constantly. Just, you know, man, just what's crazy is just the relationships of all of the people that he had that all have come to me. And then, man, your brother was this. Man, your brother was this. Man, your brother did this for me. Man, your brother would do this. It's like I learned so much more about him than I knew when he was here.
Yeah.
That I wouldn't have known and I probably wouldn't have gained these different relationships had he. It's just so many different. It's like he a Jesus to me in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like he died on the cross and bam, man, it's crazy, man.
Yeah.
You know
No,
what I
but
mean?
for real, because you talk about him a lot, and you talk about even how he shielded you away from a lot of things, kept you safe, and even the relationships, all of that. So being able to keep his memory alive, I'm sure,
Oh, yeah.
you know, has helped throughout the process.
Man, LLEW, man, long live in St. Wayne.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know we're nearing the end of the interview. But there's one question that we ask every single guest that comes on the Legacy Blueprint podcast.
Okay.
And I am so intrigued to find out your response just because I know how big your heart is for people. So today, you walk out of here, you win the $1 billion Powerball. What we doing? Where the money going? What's happening?
Billion.
Right there. Hold it. Camera just died.
Good time. I was asking a question. That was good.
Yeah.
It is. I want to interview Drumma Boy on Undoing. Like, I want to hear about him as a person. Like, I want to get deep. Especially since you a reader and I can already tell, you know a lot about yourself and this world that we in.
Man, what?
Listen,
That's a
it's
whole
wild,
nother-
man. It's
Certain
wild.
people, yeah, okay. Watch
We gonna
out
keep
there
it
now.
business.
Yeah. Watch out there now.
Wait, give me two. Okay, I'm ready. All right, you want me to start with the question?
Yeah, go ahead
Still.
and ask the question again.
Okay, cool. All right. So there's one question that we ask every guest on the Legacy Blueprint podcast, and I'm very intrigued to find out what your response is. All right, you ready? All right. So you walk out of here today, you win the $1 billion Powerball. What are we doing? Where we going? Where we spending the money on? What's happening?
Man, I win $1 billion Powerball. I'm putting $200 million towards, man, ending the war. Whatever we can do to end this war, and I don't want to see no more killing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So whatever we could do in that aspect, and helping other, people to assist in deading a war campaign. You know what I mean? What does that look like? What does that instill? And putting music to go along with that. You know what I'm saying? I think that would be super crazy, super impactful, and much needed. And the music, I think we can still do. I also have always wanted to put a studio in at least 2 studios in every state, all 50 states, to have a place for all of this talent. It's so much talent in every state, and a lot of people don't have really a place to go where they could go, not pay for studio time. All of the engineers are already paid up front, you know what I mean? And we could bring in different sponsorships and whatnot. But having a home for artists in at least 2 studios in every state. And I would start off there and then do more.
Oh, wow.
And then physically visit each one where people could work with me as well, and I could do workshops, master classes, stuff like that, to really be hands-on with the talent in each city and putting more hits on the board for a lot of the music makers and the real artists that's ready for real music to come back.
Wow. Do you realize that you didn't say nothing about you? Like, everything that you're trying to do is for other people. Like, it's for the world at hand. Oh, my God. I told y'all to know him is to love him. And that is something, because, like, I don't know if we just have a misconception of people that are in the industry, but we feel like it's very, like, self-centered. And that is, like, really just about y'all and y'all acclaim and what you do and all of that kind of stuff. But you've really given us a different aspect of not just people in the industry, but you, like you yourself, Drumma Boy, like us learning, like there's so many different aspects, but I think more than anything, my biggest takeaway is your heart for the community, your heart for people, your heart to see everybody win. And that for sure is the definition of a legacy blueprint, for sure. You are amazing. I'm so grateful that we were able to have you here.
Absolutely.
How can our listeners, followers, how can they follow you and learn more about Drumma Boy?
Follow the Instagram at Drumma Boy Fresh, DRUMMABOY Fresh. Website, drummaboy.com. Facebook, TikTok, Drumma Boy Fresh, man. Hit me, reach out. We got contact on all platforms.
I love it. I love it. Listen, y'all, we had an amazing time with Drumma Boy today.
Absolutely.
I'm so glad you all were able to tune in. Be sure to subscribe to the Legacy Blueprint podcast as well as the Native Collective on all streaming platforms.
Stop through the store. House of Fresh.
House of Fresh.
Stop through the store, House of Fresh. Follow the Instagram at House of Fresh ATL.
Listen, I gotta come through. You gotta get
Man,
me
we got
fresh,
some new-
Drumma. What
got
we
some
doing?
We got some new. Hey.
Listen. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us once again. I'm your host, Kayla Wanakey, and we'll see you on the next episode of Legacy Blueprint Podcast.
You are now tuned into Native Collective.